Hello, welcome to another up close video. So today's one is looking at two brand new dimensional die sets from Tonic that are both post box and like mail kind of themed. So we've got the Happy Mail die set, which is this one, and also the You've Got Mail die set as well. This one is very recognisable as like a typical English pillar post box that's on like every street corner. And I suppose this one is more like the kind of post box you might have screwed on the wall at the entrance of your house or something, if you've got a large house, or I guess outside the door as well actually. But yeah, two different kinds of post boxes, and both of them are, well, they're both really easy to put together actually. I haven't actually done a construction video for either of these. I haven't had a chance to do the constructions, but I do have samples to show you of these ones. So these are the packages, the packaged die sets. This is how they'll come if you buy them. The one that looks more like a pillar box has got 35 dies in it, and the one that looks more like a mailbox, or that's something that would be screwed to the wall, has got 33 dies in it as well. And you'll see on some of my samples, you don't have to just keep these looking like traditional kind of post boxes or mailboxes. I have made this one into a bird box because I thought it looks kind of like a bird box. I've added a hole to the front of it, and then I've also made this one into a wooden log with like wood slices for the top and the bottom, because I thought it looks kind of a bit like a tree trunk. So I thought that was a cool way of using it as well, and I'll show you those later on once we've looked through the dies. But really do think about what these could be. I'm also thinking, I do just see a face on this as well. Like, this definitely looks like a mouth, and you could easily add some googly eyes onto it and create something that way. Or it's kind of reminded me of something from Sesame Street. And also like a bin as well, like a pedal bin in the kitchen, because the lid does actually flip up, so you could create this into some kind of bin, especially if you know a bin man or woman. It would be a really funny gift to give them, a gift card and some sweets inside an actual bin kind of gift box. And this one I also did something, I don't know whether it really looks like what I wanted it to, but I tried to make it look a little bit like a Polaroid camera, because you've got this slot in the top that has the piece of card that you can put a gift card in or write a message on. And I just thought, because I'd already cut a hole in one of them to make a birdhouse, I thought, well, that could be the lens of the camera, and then you have the slot so it's like the Polaroid can instantly come out of it. I'll show you it at the end. I'm not sure if it really looks like a camera, but that was kind of my idea behind it. But anyway, looking at the packaging of the dies, I'll show you what comes on the back of it as well. And you do have full instructions inside here too, which is brilliant, because it is really simple to put together, but it's you know, it's nice to have the instructions so that you don't have to remember how to put it together. Whenever you want to put it together, you'll have the instructions there for you, which is perfect. And there's kind of like hidden compartments in this as well. So you can see here on the picture, this is a gift box on the top, and I've left it so the bottom is also a gift box on my ones too. And then it opens like this, like a kind of bin. That's what made me think of a bin. But so you have like two extra hidden gift boxes in there as well as whatever you could put inside and still fit the gift card in the slot in the front of it as well. So it's a really kind of spacious and fun gift box to give, because you can hide different things in them. And also this top section is very similar to the kaleidoscope kind of concept of having basically, you know, I think I've done it in a video before when I've had the kaleidoscope dies, where you can just create two of the lids and put them inside each other to make a really skinny box. And this would be the perfect size for just like a single cookie. If you were baking cookies and you wanted to do, you know, like a single cookie for all of your neighbours or something, or if you've done a really nice iced biscuit with like the flooding of the icing and stuff and creating a cool design on it, it would be a really lovely way to give those kind of biscuits. You could even cut a hole in the top and put acetate on it as well. But so there's lots of bits in these die sets that you could use for other things as well, is basically what I was trying to say. So that's a really good plus for this die set too. And then all the bits and pieces we've got in here are all listed on the back of the packaging, so you won't lose any of them, which is brilliant. You've got them all notified down here with like outside edges and pretty patterns and stuff too. And it's also showing you how you can cut these two patterns. I'll show you in a second the actual dies, but it's showing you how you can complete the design if you want to as well. And then again, this one is also showing you all of the bits and pieces that are in there as well, but I'll show you the actual dies now. I just wanted to show you the real packaging so that you knew what they look like, since I actually had it whilst I was filming this video for you. Okay, so this is the Happy Mail die set, which is kind of the traditional pillar box kind of post box. And you can see it's jam-packed full of different elements that you can use to create it. You have this piece here, which, if I can get it off the magnetic sheet, this is the main part of the box. This creates the circular element of the box, or the hexagonal piece basically. So obviously you need 2 of these to give you your 6 sides, and in one of these you're actually going to cut this slot piece out, which gives you that little sort of mouth section or area for your gift card to slot into as well. And you get the placement for this piece by placing on your decorative panels. So what I did is I had my base pieces cut, I had all my decorative panels cut, I placed all of the decorative panels onto the solid base piece, and then just placed this extra slit die into the open area that was there, taped it in place, took all the other panels off, and then ran that through my die cutting machine to get it in the absolute perfect spot that it's supposed to be in. Which I thought was really good. But also, if you didn't want to do this, you could instead take this die, which is the one to decorate the panels of the hexagon top and bottom, but you could actually just cut that as a slot in the front of it if you wanted to, using these 2 panels to make sure you get it in the right place, the 2 that would go above and below it, and then you could just use more of the longer panels to decorate it if you wanted to. So you could make it look even more like a traditional pillar post box by just having that small slot in it as well if you wanted to. Or if you didn't even want to use the die, you could just use your craft knife and cut a little rectangle in there as well. Obviously you wouldn't be able to fit the gift card portion in there, but you could do it as just as a gift box full of chocolate, and it could just have the slot on there just to look like a post box, but it wouldn't necessarily have to be a working part of the box as well, so that's really nice, another option of what you can do with this one as well. So as I was just saying about the longer panel dies, you have this longer panel which is the length of this piece, so you can actually use this 3 times for the back of the box if you've used all these panels on the front, or if you're altering it, you could just have 5 of these and then use these 2 panels to do the front with the slit in it. Or if you don't even want to make it look like a post box, you could just use 6 of the long panels to decorate it, not have a slit in it, and then just use the lid and base kind of mechanism of it as well, and turn it into something else entirely. I mean, actually, maybe if you know somebody who likes going to the gym a lot, you could probably turn it into some kind of dumbbell with the kind of weight of it on the end of it to make it look more realistic. Or even just my idea of the log, you could, instead of having the slit in it to make it look more like a post box kind of thing, you could just cut like an oval aperture in it to be kind of a fallen log on its side or something as well. And actually, just saying that, I just thought you could have it lying on its side with an oval aperture in it and make it into a tissue box, and then you could pull the tissues out of it as well. I just thought of that. I think that would be a great use for it. And even actually, as a post box, you could pull the tissues through the slot in the front. That might be a really cool idea, actually. I hadn't thought of that before. Anyway, that might be a cool way of using it too. But so as well as getting all of these panels here, which I'll show you up close actually. So you've got this longer design, and then you've got the shorter designs with all of the angles and everything so that you can fit them around the slot that will cut into it. And then in this central piece, what I was saying about the packaging, showing you the two different ways, it has two different patterns in it. I actually just used the two different patterns together. I really liked the two together, having like the sort of gem looking one on one end and the crisscrossy one on the other, but you can cut one and then flip it over and cut it again the other end to give you the same pattern. But I did really like the two different ones together. And this gorgeous pattern here as well is actually mimicked for the hexagon for the top of the box too. So if you want to just use this one, it's going to really match with the top of the box as well. Then, as well as those panels to decorate the whole kind of middle tube portion of it, you've also got different pieces to decorate the top and bottom. So this one is a scalloped design. So this one actually overhangs the edge of the lid and the base a little bit. So well, you could use it on the bottom as well actually, but I was using it on the top, and you can see how the little scallop overhangs the like height of that little box as well. And then you've also got two options for just plain rectangle panels that will fit perfectly into those sections. So you could use this one with more like diamondy patterns, or you've got more of a swirly design here, or you've just got the plain rectangle to cut a specialty cardstock into, or something that you've stamped and coloured yourself, and just add panels onto it as two. And also obviously over here I didn't specifically mention the outside cutting edges for all the different panels, but you do have those too. So for one of mine I have just used specialty papers, so I just used all the outside edges, and the other one I did add all the detail on, so I added all of the interior details on it too. Then, as well as all those pieces, this is the lid, and the base. So this main piece creates the two extra gift boxes that are in the top and the bottom, or it could just be a standalone cute little one cookie or biscuit gift box as well, which I think is brilliant. And then you also get these two dies inside that as well. So this is the actual base and lid for the main tube portion. So the piece that this large bit creates, this is the lid and base for that, because these are slightly larger that fit on the top and the bottom to give that kind of poster box look. And the idea is you cut one solidly like this to use as the base, and then the other one you cut with this hexagon in the centre. And if you can see on here, this edge of this hexagon doesn't have a cut line, it's just a score line, so that gives you the opening mechanism for it. It will give you a piece that flips up like this, which is the opening mechanism for the lid of the box. And then this gift box, once you've made it, sticks onto that hexagon that flaps up, and that's how the whole box opens. So you would just pull the lid up and the whole mechanism works like that as well. But having all of these pieces and having this piece as well that you can create, or you can give it a bottom and a top using these extra dies, it gives you so many opportunities to turn it into something else, and to maybe not even use this top piece on the top, just have these as the top and bottom, or make it solid on the top and bottom and do some kind of opening within the side panels as well. You can really switch it up and think of different things that might have that kind of cylindrical or hexagonal prism kind of a shape to it, and really like experiment and use your imagination to think of other ways of using these dies in cool ways. And actually seeing these dies here, that's just reminding me of Buzz Lightyear's spaceship from Toy Story, the way they're kind of angles like that. You could do something really cool just using all these angled panels as well. And even if you like doing cards that have a channel in them, you could use these slanted dies and have like multiples of them going up a card to give you that channel kind of design on a card as well. I think there are just so many possibilities in this die set of different ways of using it to create different kinds of gift boxes, or also just to do some quirky card designs or turning it into all sorts of different things as well. And as I'm showing you this, I keep thinking of even more bits and pieces that you could do with it as well. So I think this is a really versatile die set, and I haven't even shown you it all yet. There's also this little circle die makes it so that is on the front panel of your pillar box, post box, so you can actually have the word mail or post inside it as well. And I've used post on my one because I've done like a Christmassy post box. And then you also get this piece here, which this one actually looks like a postage stamp. It's got the like the pink postage stamp edge to it. You also have an extra die that is slightly smaller, so you can do a matte and layer. You get this gorgeous patterned die as well, and then it's got an oval place in the centre where you have the solid oval die, and you also have two different sentiments that you can put inside it too. So this one says Happy Mail, and this one says a gift for you. And for this piece you can either cut it as a rectangle, it's just like a single-sided sort of card that you slide in the slot, or you can hang one edge of it over the top of your card and create an actual you know, like a proper greetings card with a spine to it that opens up, so you could write your message on the inside of it, but then you can still slot it into the mouth of the post box as well. And on the other set you actually have this same size piece but with different things in it as well, so they mix and match between the two of them. And the other one actually has the two little half circles so that you can put a gift card into this piece and then slot it into the post box or the mailbox as well. So if you have both of them, you can really mix and match what you put on it as well, which is brilliant. So speaking of having both of them, this is the other design. This is the You've Got Mail, and actually as I was putting these dies away this morning, because obviously I've been using them, you have this piece which has got that slant on it as well. So what I was saying about utilising these kind of slanty pieces for a card, you could then use these in conjunction with each other, and you've got a taller, slightly skinnier one as well to use. Or you could even bring this slightly fatter, shorter one onto this mailbox and do a completely different kind of design, leaving an open space at the top, or sliding it up and having the open strip at the bottom and at the top as well, and using the other panels onto the other box, which is really lovely that you can mix and match like that. So I thought I would mention that too. And you can also I'm sure you can mix and match these pieces too. That one is slightly longer, but you probably could actually get that panel to go on this one as well, so you could have that central element on there too. You can also mix these kind of pieces onto this as well. So if you didn't want that small little oval that is on the front of this one, you could pull this oval with one of the words inside it and have it on the front of the mailbox if you wanted to as well. So there really is a lot of mix and matching that you can do between these two sets, which is fabulous. And this is the other piece that can fit inside the mailbox or inside the post box. So actually the postage stamp one would fit perfectly on top of the rounded rectangle one that comes in the other set as well. So you then have a third layer. You could layer, you could start with the rounded rectangle, layer the postage stamp, and then layer that fine or the slightly smaller rectangle one on top of the postage stamp edge as well, and have a really nice layered look to one of these little cards too. Let me put them in the right order so I can try and show you. It'd be a really nice fine little matte and layer, and obviously you can use this on the front of a card as well, or on the inside of a card. You could layer all of these up, then use this piece, which is the one that actually holds a gift card in, and then you could just stick this panel to the inside of any greetings card that you've made, and you've got the perfect little slot piece to put a gift card in, or just use this piece by itself as well. I think this is going to be an invaluable die, having the actual perfect distance of these little semicircles to put a gift card inside any card, or on the back of any gift box that you've created ever, really. If this fits, you know, you can put this on the back of a gift box and then just clip a card into it. So this is a really good die to have, and I do really love that they're all mixing and matching across the two sets as well. Tonic are really good at doing that, and that's why I've left these two in the same video, so that I could really show you how they mix and match together as well. Okay, so now I've shown you some of the ways they can mix and match together. This is the You've Got Mail die set, just in case you're interested in one over the other. This is what you get in the You've Got Mail die set. So you get these portions, these two here together, you stick them together like that, and that creates the front bent 3-panel piece for this mailbox. Then you have this portion, which is the back panel of the mailbox, which this curved piece fits onto. And then you also have this piece, which is the base of the mailbox. You can see the front 3 sides, and then that is the flat back piece I just showed you. So that is the bottom of the mailbox. And then you also have this piece, which is the top of the mailbox, and that sticks onto that back panel there. And the reason why these are longer, like this is a deeper kind of die to what the base is because these lines are sloping, so you need a slightly longer lid than you do for a base, because the base is flat but the top is sloping. Just in case you're wondering about that. And the top piece has the slot in, which is perfect for fitting either the card from this die set or the one from the previous die set, to house your gift card, or just as a little note card inside there as well. So that fits absolutely perfectly. Then for this back panel, you can either have it completely plain, you can trim it down so that it doesn't have the fancy edge on the top of it, you can cut it straight from a specialty cardstock, or add a cotton paper to the top of one cut from normal cardstock, or you have got 2 options of different designs to add into it as well. And so if you want to add this panel onto your post box, you can either cut the entire back panel and then cut this into it and then stick that onto another solid one, or you can just get a scrap piece of card that's about this big and cut this shape with that piece in the top of it, and then you can stick that to the solid one that you've done as well, which is what I did on the purple one that I'll show you. But you've got this option for the top that's got the heart and a gorgeous swirly design. Or you've also got this option, which I didn't use this one, but it's got a gorgeous sunburst kind of design coming out from the centre. I mean, this could be a flower, it could be a modern kind of sun sort of look. You can make all of that orange and have like orange and blue kind of stripes coming out, so it looks like sun rays on the sky. And you could really go to town with paper piecing this kind of design as well. But lots of different ways you can decorate this. You can also stamp on it too. If you love your stamping, if you got the new Stamp Club stamps, you could have that gorgeous heartfelt corsage coming in the top of it as well, and even stamp it again on the front of it to bring the design in too. So you don't have to just use dies or specialty papers and stuff to decorate all of these. You can use your stamped cardstock and stuff too. Then the other decorative panels for all the different pieces, you have got the gorgeous side panels, which you get both of because they're the opposite way. The slant goes the opposite way, and these have a gorgeous like diamond lattice pattern down the centre, and then some kind of slightly more scrolly curvy designs around the edge, and you've got both of them. But you also have the straight side to cut them out, so you can just cut pattern paper or stamped pieces as well if you want to, or if you're using a nice strong 300 GSM cardstock just to cut the base out of and you want to do your stamping, you can just stamp straight onto that as well. You don't have to add any of the layers on top of it either. And then for the front portion, you have the main rectangle with a gorgeous filigree kind of frame that matches the frame that's around the lattice design. Then you have another rectangle that fits perfectly inside, so you could make this a frame if you wanted to. And this has the little inverted corners on it. And then you've got a gorgeous symmetrical design in the centre there as well, which has a kind of heart theme to it, where you've got like a smaller heart with a bigger heart behind it, and then all the pattern sort of follows around that. And you'll see there's kind of an oval in the centre, and so you also get a little oval die and 2 different words that you could put inside it. So you get mail and love, so you can have make it into a mailbox, or you can do more of a Valentine's or Christmas love kind of feel to it as well. And then you also get decorations for the top of the box as well. So just on the lid, either side of the slit, you get the 2 outside panels. You get this gorgeous one that has got a heart design in, again, to kind of go with that heart and also the heart over here. Then you've got this just kind of squares in a row, which match the kind of square latticey design. Or you've got this swirly one with, again, little hearts hidden in there that can be switched out for this one. Or you've got this more sort of filigree, scrolly kind of one that can be switched out for that square sort of design as well. And then finally, within that layering die, as well as just having the outside curved or rounded rectangle and the piece that holds a gift card, you've also got this gorgeous piece which cuts a really skinny frame that has got that kind of candy cane stripe going around it, and it's really thin and delicate, and it cuts absolutely perfectly. And I think this, for a Christmas card, paper pieced in with red, white and green for like candy cane colours, would look beautiful. And even having that to kind of emphasise your address on an envelope as well. You could just stick that on the front of an envelope with the paper piecing in, or just as like black onto white, or a colour coordinating with your card as well. I think that'd be really lovely. And then some of my favourite pieces from this die set are this tiny little scripty word that says mail, and then also another one that says post, so you can make it into more of a post box as well, or you can have mailbox instead of using this kind of mail. You can have this gorgeous scripty one as well, and even switching this up and mixing it with any of your stamps that you have, you can do happy mail or happy post and have a die cut word on a card or stuck to an envelope or something as well. And then you also get a heart. You can never have too many heart dies, and this is a gorgeous heart with really defined lobes on the top of it that will fit absolutely perfectly right here on this piece. And you also have this gorgeous little one which actually cuts you a postage stamp, and you have the separate little piece for the centre so that you could stamp something, draw something, use a tiny little photograph, whatever you want to do. You can actually make this into a gorgeous little stamp. You could have a little design that maybe you've drawn, shrunken down on the computer, printed out lots of times. You could die cut it and make your own Christmas stamp. You know, like Royal Mail does the gorgeous Christmassy ones for first and second class that you get every year. You could create your own kind of version of that for cards that you're hand delivering or something, which would be really lovely. And then the final die is the closure for this box as well. So you might have noticed in the lid, you've got this little tab here with a slit, and this is actually the closure that works with that. And I'll show you that on my final boxes as well. Before I move on, I actually cut that postage stamp out to show you as well, just how dinky and cute it is. And size-wise, it's about 1 inch tall and 3/4 of an inch wide. And you have the gorgeous little panel to stick on top of there as well, so you can really customise that and make it look like a little postage stamp, which I think is such a cool idea. And any kind of cards you can use that on as well, or even in your art journaling too. I think that would be brilliant. So I've got all of my samples to show you. Let's show you the 3 that I've done with the Happy Mail, or no, You've Got Mail die set, sorry. The You've Got Mail one. So you can see kind of my thought process. I decided to go with purples because purple's my favourite, and this camera now picks up purple really nicely, so you can actually see the beautiful purple colours of all this tonic card that I've used. And so I did this one with all of the intricate dies. So this is more like how it's kind of meant to be used, really, with all the intricate details on it. And also this little panel that goes on the top even has a little fall away heart that comes out of it, so I used that on this little latch here and made use of the waste of that as well. And I've just used all of the decorative kind of pieces together. I cut the base out of a light purple card, and then I've used a deeper purple card and the Lilac Waves luxury embossed cardstock as well to back the pieces on, so you've got that gorgeous texture showing through all of the pieces. And I literally just stuck to the decorative dies on this one to show them off really nicely. And you have the little card inside the pocket as well, which you can then put a gift card on. And I've also put another rectangle on the back, which is actually the rectangle that fell out of this intricate frame, just so that you've got like a nice place to write, because you wouldn't be able to write very easily on the luxury cardstock. But you can see just how fine that frame cuts. It's so detailed, and I really think paper piecing it back in would look beautiful. And if you paper pieced it in 3 different colours, you could do 3 of them, because you'd have enough of the pieces left to do 3 in the same colourway, which would be really nice. So that is the little kind of gift card piece that fits perfectly into that slot, and this is the mechanism. So it actually just slots over the top of that piece. So you fold this piece up and stick those 2 together in the centre, stick that onto your box right at the top of that panel, and then the little latch will just fit perfectly over the top of that. You can either tie a ribbon or some twine through that and then tie a bow, or you could like quill a stick of paper and thread that through to be like a little stick. You could use a little bit of a bamboo skewer if you want to. You could use one of those, you know, the tiny little padlocks that you get in crackers at Christmas time. You could do a tiny little padlock. If you got any of the media dies that Tonic did a while ago, they had a padlock die in there. You can even put that through it. You can snip a little bit away from it and then it would hook through it. So lots of different ways that you could actually close that, but it does actually just stay shut as well. You don't have to put anything in there. It does just stay shut, which is really nice too. And it just means you could completely stick this shut if you wanted to, if you were just making it to be the gift card holder, but having it open, you can add a few sweets or something in there as well as having a gift card too, which is really nice. And the slot is also big enough that you could put a few of these cards in. So maybe instead of using it as gift cards, you could use it as kind of like tokens. So you could do like I'll do the washing up for you once, and you know the recipient can then use the token and redeem, you know, the chore or something. That would be a really cool way of using it as well. And you can do that with the postbox one too. So that is the first one I did, and then I thought, well, it does really look like a bird box, like the kind of shape of it. I thought if you cut a hole in that, it could be a cute little bird box that could be screwed on the wall. So I did this gorgeous little bird box as well, and it's got the little card that comes out of it, and I just wrote good luck in your new home, and then you would put the card over the top of that, and then the recipient would find the little hidden note behind it. And I thought a new home would be cool because it's like a bird box, and a bird, you know, finds the little house to live in and stuff. And again, I've used the extra rectangle that popped out the middle of that skinny frame to go on the back of it too. Again, this one opens so that you can actually put different bits and pieces in here, and I actually got my mum to knit a little blue tit as well, and you can see that that's poking. He's got his little bum and one of his wings inside. You can take it out as well, but it just works as a nice little cute element. So you've got like a little gift that's a little knitted figure, and then you can also give them a gift card as well, which I thought is a really nice kind of present that you could give somebody. And because I had made this into a bird box, I wanted to kind of make it sort of wood themed, so I used the specialty wood grain cotton paper that Tonic did a little while ago. It came out in the Woodland Walk colour trend, and I just used a circle die to cut that hole in the centre, and I cut the hole from the panel and from the main portion of the box as well, so that they lined up, and you've got the little mat that goes perfectly onto there. And then I also did the top and the bottom from like a taupey colour of cardstock rather than a brown, so that I could use an alcohol pen and draw on kind of like the wood grain, so it kind of looks like it could have been a solid piece of wood that someone's cut down and made into a birdhouse. And then I quite liked the intricate shape of the top of it for a birdhouse as well. I thought it's kind of like something that you might have made at school in design and technology, if you had a project that was making a birdhouse. We never did a birdhouse, but you know, it could have been a project. And and I just thought it looks like that kind of thing you would have made. So I've added a couple of little screw brads into there with some twine so you could actually hang it up as well. And then I thought it kind of looks a little bit sort of rusticy, so I thought Dymo label for the wording on it would be really cool, because my granddad used to label things in the garden with the Dymo labeler, so I thought it would be kind of nostalgic to use that. So I've done home tweet home because of the little birdie as well. So I thought that was a really cool way of using this and turning it from what's supposed to be a little mailbox into a little birdhouse, which I thought was really cool. And then because I'd done the birdhouse, I was like, I wonder if you could make it into a camera. So I don't know if it really looks like a camera. It's kind of a quirky sort of a camera. I tried to add this on the back so it kind of looks like the screen on it. I know a Polaroid camera doesn't have a screen, or like a little viewfinder, or you know, something like that, and added some little buttons with Nuvo drops and another little one down here. I used one of the circle shakers and the little pouches to create a little shaker in there, and then I've just used some circle dies to create kind of like the rings around the lens of a camera. I've used little bits of card to kind of decorate it as well. And I've also actually done a magnetic closure on this one, because I thought that would work quite nicely. And then the idea is on here that this is kind of like a Polaroid that's coming out the top of the camera. But actually, I don't know if you can tell, you can kind of see it. I backed this shaker with acetate. So if you actually put the photograph, instead of putting it here where I've indicated, if you put it down in the bottom, and then you put that card inside, you would actually be able to see it through the lens, which I think was a really cool idea as well. So, you know, that's another thing that you can do too. But I just thought, as I thought of the idea, I might as well just try and make a kind of camera. It kind of looks like a camera. It could actually even be a washing machine. Now I'm looking at that, that could be a washing machine as well. So I think there's loads of different things that you can change this one into. But yeah, I just thought I'd show that idea as well. And then my two favourites are from the Happy Mail die set. I really love how these turned out. And this is the one that I would be quite, I'd quite like to recreate, because I really love how it turned out. It really does look like a post box that you would find, you know, down the road. I mean, I think our post boxes have a black piece that comes up the bottom as well, not just here. But, you know, if someone sees that, they know that's a pillar box or a pillar post box. So, you know, I think it's very iconic looking. And then I also did this one as well, which looks like a kind of a tree trunk sort of a thing with wood slices on the top and bottom. Again, doing that kind of scribbling on the pen as well to make it look like a tree trunk. I love how this one turned out, and this one. I really love these. They've been sitting on my desk for a couple of days and I've just been admiring them. I just really love how they turned out. And you've also got the extra hidden gift boxes in these ones as well, which I just think is so brilliant and a genius design, that not only does this sort of add to the look of the post box as well, but it gives you an extra place to hide more gifts for the person, which I think is just so lovely. You don't have to keep the bottom one open, like you can actually add glue to the bottom one if you wanted to as well. But I just love how they turned out. And this one, obviously, I went Christmassy and made the top of the box white, so it looks like it's got covered in snow. And I've added the Christmas wreath on there, which is one of the ones from, there was a set of 3 different wreaths a little while ago. You had the holly wreath, the snowflake wreath and the mistletoe wreath. I'm not 100% sure if they're still available, because I don't know if it was last Christmas or the Christmas before now actually. But one of them came with the little robin in the centre and the other one came with the little bow as well. So I've used the wreath and the bow and the cute little robin on there. And then this sentiment, I think that was 2 Christmases ago. It says Merry Christmas with the holly leaves on, and I just couldn't resist adding that on there too. And I made sure that I added it above the little word post as well. So it says Merry Christmas Post, which I thought was really lovely. And again, this one's top and bottom also come off. This one's top is more snug because of the way that I have decorated it. I've added the glitter accents, the Fresh Snowfall glitter accents, one of my favourite Nouveau products. I've added it to give it more of a frosty kind of a look and really reinforce the top of that as well, so it gives a slightly snugger fit onto here. And also because I use the scalloped edge pieces, it hangs down a little bit further as well, which also makes it a nice snug fit. And then I've also left the bottom one open too, so that you could have it as two separate gift boxes, and then you've got it that it opens and you can see inside. And for this one, I've done a little gift card, so it says a gift for you, using the same colours that I've used on the outside, the green and the red. And then on the back of it I just made up Santa Claus's address and put like a little stamp. I didn't draw anything on this one, I just used red for a first class stamp. But so I just put Santa Claus 2 Candy Cane Lane, Winter Wonderland, North Pole, and then I tried to make up a postcode that is Christmas 20. I thought that was kind of a cool thing to do. But I mean, actually, if you've got children, you could make them the little cards and they could write their letters to Santa and post them into the post box. The idea is that this fits like this, so that's how it would stand, that the little note is kind of standing at an angle, and you could see if you kept everything really flat, you could fit at least 3 in there. But I think it's a really cool idea, and if you, I mean, you can put them this way as well, and then again you could fit at least 3 in there that way too. Or you can actually, I think you could fit them inside, yeah. If you took the lid off, you could actually fit even more in there too. So if you did want to do it as kind of like a letters to Santa kind of a thing, you could fit quite a lot in there, which is really nice. So if you've got multiple children, they could all put them in the same one. But I really love how this one turned out. You can probably tell by the amount of times I've said I really love how this one turned out. But I do really love how this one turned out. And oh, on this as well, I've used the same red card to cut the base as I have to cut the intricate panels, and then behind the intricate panels I've put that gorgeous Firestone red iridescent mirror card. It just looks so gorgeous. Really lovely. I really do love that iridescent card, and the green is just is it called holly green? Or maybe it's olive green, the green mirror card that Tonic do as well. And this is just some of their 216 GSM textured cardstock for the robin as well. But I really do love how that turned out. And you can even put the decorative piece on the top as well. Even though that's supposed to be snow, I thought just having the white on white would look really nice on there as well. And then the log one, I have used the Wilderness Adventures dies to decorate this one. I just could not resist turning this into a log with 2 wood slices as the top and bottom. And then I thought, well, obviously I've got to add some kind of woodland critters on there. So I picked the fox out and some of the toadstools, the little grassy piece. It's the grass, so this is the set that makes a kind of 3D sort of diorama-y kind of a card, where you have all the different slots and you can slot the pieces in to make the little characters be in the foreground and the background. And the width of this piece, that is supposed to be one of the pieces, it has slits in the bottom but I've cut them off, is the perfect width for this card that comes in there, so you can easily use them to decorate without even having to snip off any of it. And if you score them at was it 4.5 centimetres or 5.5 centimetres? I think it was 4.5 centimetres. So you take one, you line it up at the edge, you score 4.5 centimetres, and you score 4.5 centimetres again. That fits 2 sides with a tiny little overlap, and then where it overlaps, you can just tuck it behind the start of the next one, and you just need 3 of those pieces to go all the way around. And obviously you want to chop the bottom off so that you haven't got the slits on it, but you could make that as shallow or as high as you want it to be, depending how far up you want the grass to come up the side of the wooden log as well. And then so I've added the little fox behind there, and I've also emulated that on the little card as well. And then I've added multiple little mushrooms, a little acorn, the little pine cones, just to decorate the front sort of 3 sections. And then I've used that gorgeous Happy Mail oval one on here, and I've kind of done that scribbly spiral to kind of make it look a little bit like a wood slice again as well. And inside the top and on the bottom I've also done that too, so it really kind of looks like a wood slice. And then obviously you can slot the little card in that way, you can put it in that way, or you can just put it straight in the top, or you can have the gift card in there as well as chocolates in the top too. And then around the edge of the top and the bottom of this, again to give it that kind of wood slice feel, I've just cut thin strips of this wood grain cotton paper that Tonic do, and I've just you can get, if you cut the width of the paper, so a 21cm width with about a centimetre height, you can get that around 3 sides, so you just need 4 strips like that to do the top and the bottom. And I just think it looks so cool. I really do love how this turned out. I wasn't sure it was going to work because I hadn't thought about this bit being slightly bigger, and I was just going to make it a whole tree trunk. But then as soon as I thought, oh, I could make this a wood slice for the top, then it just started to all come together really well. So I really love how these turned out. I hope you get hold of these die sets if you like the look of what you can make with them as well. And I hope you have as much fun making these as I have, because they are just so fun to make, and they are just so easy to put together as well. There's like hardly any construction in these at all, and some of the pieces are just making the same thing 4 times because you need 2 for the base and 2 for the top. So really simple to put together. So I really hope you enjoyed this up close video, and I'll see you again in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.